If you're anything like me, when you start thinking about moving to a new state, safety is one of the first things you really take a look at. And if Missouri is on your radar, you might be wondering, where are the safest areas really? And how close are they to real jobs, the airports, as well as city amenities? So in this video, I'm walking you through the 10 safest cities in Missouri from the perspective of someone who's actually considering making a move here. Yes, I'm going to talk about crime, but I'm also going to explain where each city is located within the state, how close it is to, say, cities like Kansas City and St. Louis, home prices, income levels, population size, and why people choose these places over others. Think of this as a short list of communities you'd realistically want to tour if Missouri is on your list. I ranked these cities based on violent crime. All right, so I found the violent crime data, which was per 1,000 residents, for several of the cities on our list, but not all of them have easily available current per 1,000 figures. Here's a ranked list using the best data available, sources from crime reporting services as well as FBI-derived statistics. So please remember though, these are just statistics. Statistics never tell the whole story, but it does provide the basis to begin our evaluation. So typically I will go from 10 to 1, but I know everyone's anxious to know who and where is the safest city in the state of Missouri, so that's where we're going to begin with number 1. If I were moving to Missouri and I wanted the safest, most private environment possible, Town and Country would be at the top of my list. This is one of those places where safety isn't just a statistic, it's part of the design. It has historically been among Missouri's lowest violent crime rates overall, with less than 1 incident per 1,000. Now, Town and Country, it sits in West St. Louis County. It's about 20-25 minutes west of downtown St. Louis. So you're still close to major employers, hospitals, as well as Lambert International Airport, but once you're here, and this is the key, it feels completely removed from city life. It's a very, very small community. The population is only about 11,500. It's pretty exclusive. The home prices are high, usually $900,000 to well over $1 million. And the median household income, it's north of $150,000. So people who move here are usually executives, business owners, or families who want space, privacy, as well as quiet. It is a low density, very residential, heavily owner occupied, and estate zone community. The traffic here is low, and the police force is strong, and these are some of the big reasons why crime is so low here. So, if budget isn't your biggest concern, and safety is, then this is one of the strongest options in the state. By the way, if we haven't met before, my name is Chris Pucci, and I help people just like you make a smooth transition into your new home. In addition, I post videos just like this that share everything there is about Kansas City. So if you'd like to learn more about Kansas City, please feel free to subscribe to the channel by tapping on the bell below. And if you are, though, contemplating making a move into the state of Missouri or the state of Kansas for that matter, I would love to help you make that smooth transition and find that perfect home. So with that being said, let's move on to number 2. If I wanted safety, but I didn't want the $1 million home prices, Ballwin would feel like a much more realistic option. Ballwin is also west of St. Louis County, roughly 25 to 30 minutes from downtown St. Louis. It is surrounded by other stable suburbs, and it sits near major commuter corridors. So what is it about Ballwin that really makes it work? Well, it has a population of about 31,000 people, which is about twice Town and Country, but the home prices typically fall in the mid $300,000 to $400,000 range, so housing here is extremely affordable. And the median household income, it's about $105,000, and in terms of violent crime, it averages about 0.72 per 1,000 violent crimes annually, which when you compare that to the national average of 4.0 per 1,000, this is very, very low. So what does Ballwin offer? Well, it's quiet, it's very residential, and it's extremely stable. It's the kind of place that people move to when they're thinking long-term. They want good schools, low crime, and neighborhoods where people can actually put down roots. People move here because it's safe, it's affordable for the metro, and it's close enough to St. Louis without city stress and high crimes. This is a place for families and retirees because this one checks a lot of boxes. Coming in at number 3 on our list is Wildwood. Now, Wildwood would appeal to me if I wanted to slow life down. It's located further out. It's about 35 to 45 minutes southwest of downtown St. Louis. It's located in southwest St. Louis County. But what I really like about it is the fact that it sits near state parks as well as conservation areas, which gives it a semi-rural feel while still being part of the metro. Now, the population is about 36,000 people, so it's a shade bigger than Ballwin, but in terms of home prices, they are in the mid-range. Home prices range here from about $500,000 to $600,000, and the median household income is about $130,000. So this city is intentionally low density. There's less commercial activity, you've got more land, more trees, all of which helps keep crime low. In fact, Wildwood's violent crime rate is 0.77 per thousand. So that being said, if you're coming from somewhere that's crowded like a major city and you want to slow life down a bit, Wildwood would really be an ideal option. And by the way, if you're wondering about safe areas around Kansas City, because so far everyone we've talked about is around St. Louis, they do exist. But many of the safest Kansas City cities are actually on the Kansas side of the state line. So if you're interested in those and Kansas City is on your radar, then check out my other video on the 10 safest cities in Kansas. Moving on, we've got Webster Groves. Now, Webster Groves would be high on my list if I wanted charm, walkability without sacrificing safety. Webster Grove feels like a true town, not just a suburb. So to give you a little more context, it's an inter-ring suburb. It's only about 10 to 15 minutes southwest of downtown St. Louis. And it's that closeness is a big reason why professionals really love Webster Groves. Now, the population to begin with is small. It's only got about 23,000 people, and like Wildwood, the prices of the homes are in the mid-range, but here they're a bit more affordable. The range is $400,000 to $500,000, and the median household income is around $95,000. Stated earlier, Webster Grove feels like a real town. You've got historic homes, local shops, tree-lined streets, there's walkability, and even though it's close to St. Louis, crime stays well below the state average. Here, the violent crime is roughly 0.85 per thousand residents. Webster Grove, it's popular with professionals who are looking for, say, character and individuality, not cookie-cutter suburbs. So, if you're someone who needs to be close to or you want to work in downtown St. Louis, but at the same time you want charm and walkability as well as a short commute, then this would be high on my list. So now what we're going to do, we're going to move from the east side of the state to the west side of the state to a small city called Parkville, which is part of the Kansas City metropolitan area. Now, Parkville honestly would be one of my top picks if I were moving to this part of the state. Parkville is one of those places that once you visit it, you immediately understand its appeal. It's located northwest of downtown Kansas City, right along the Missouri River, about 15 minutes from the city core, which gives you easy access to all the amenities that Kansas City has to offer. It's a very small community, only 7,500 people. The home prices range anywhere from about $450,000 to $550,000. And the median household income? The median household income is about $100,000. So what it is, it's a small historic town right along the Missouri River near Kansas City. Now, the violent crime rate, though, comes in at 3.78 per thousand violent crimes annually, but a lot of that crime is inflated due to the number of visitors who visit Parkville. The neighborhoods themselves, though, are very, very safe. Now, one of the great advantages or draws to Parkville is its proximity to Kansas City, because you have access to Kansas City jobs and amenities, but you still get that small town charm with very, very safe neighborhoods. So if charm matters to you, Parkville is going to be a town that's really hard to beat. Now we're going to flip back over to the east side of the state, and we're going to talk about Kirkwood, which is located in south central St. Louis County. Kirkwood feels like a place people intentionally choose, not just land in. It's about 15 minutes southwest of downtown St. Louis, which makes it one of the most centrally located suburbs on our list. What makes it stand out? Well, first of all, it is one of the smaller cities with a population of only 28,000 people. And the home prices in Kirkwood are very affordable. They range anywhere from $400,000 to the low $500,000s. The median household income, though, is about $100,000. So, what Kirkwood offers is a real sense of community. You have a walkable downtown, you have strong community culture, and high home ownership. And all of these things keep crime steady and low. In fact, their violent crime rate is 1.61 per thousand. Remember, the national crime rate is 4 per thousand. So violent crime here is very low. So if you value lifestyle and a strong community culture as much as safety, Kirkwood would be a very appealing choice. Hey, if you're watching this video and you live in any of these cities that we're talking about in this video, please feel free to leave your comments. I'd love to hear what your experience is in living in these towns. Also, if you are somebody or you know of somebody who is looking to move into the state of Missouri, please feel free to share this video with them as well. Holding down the 7th spot is Chesterfield. Located in West St. Louis, it feels more like a relocation hub. It's about 25 miles west of downtown St. Louis, and it's situated along major highways as well as corporate corridors such as Interstate 64. Now, in terms of population, it's the largest city we've talked about so far with about 49,000 residents. Home prices are again in the mid-range price between $450 and $550 with a median household income of $115,000. Now, this location primarily attracts families relocating for work. It has jobs, shopping, healthcare, as well as newer housing, while at the same time, though, keeping violent crime very low. So, if I were relocating for work and wanted a safe, modern suburb with amenities nearby, Chesterfield would make a lot of sense. Holding down the number 8 spot following Chesterfield is Clayton, Missouri. Clayton, it's very unique and it's a place you really have to understand in context. It sits just west of downtown St. Louis, about 10 miles from the city center, and it functions as the region's business and legal hub. It's a very small community, only about 17,000 people. The home price is $600,000 to $700,000, and the median household income is about $120,000. It functions as the financial and legal center of St. Louis County. So a lot of the reported crime that occurs is daytime crime, not violent crime. Clayton is very much like Parkville in that the residential neighborhoods remain extremely safe, walkable, and highly desirable. So, if I was going to live on the eastern side of the state near St. Louis and I wanted walkability, prestige, and strong services, Clayton would be very, very attractive to me. Coming in 9th place would be St. Peters, Missouri. Now, St. Peter stands out because of its size. So if I wanted a larger city feel without giving up safety, then St. Peters would be on my short list. It's located northwest of St. Louis in St. Charles County. It's about 30 minutes from downtown, and it sits near I-70. So what is about this city that works for them? Well, in terms of population, it's the largest city we've talked about so far, with a population of about 58,000 residents. But that being said, it also offers affordable housing. Here, the home prices range from $300,000 to $375,000, and the median household income for St. Peters is about $85,000. Now, for a city this large, crime rates are impressively low, roughly 1.67 per 1,000 violent crimes. So, bottom line is this. This location will work well if you want space, affordability, and access to St. Louis without living in the core. So now coming in 10th place as the 10th safest cities in the state of Missouri, you've got Maryland Heights. Now Maryland Heights is located in northwest St. Louis County. It's more commercial than, we'll say, residential, which is primarily due to its location. It's about 20 miles northwest of downtown St. Louis, and it's located near major highways as well as employment centers. Now again, this is another small city with a population of just about 27,000 people. Here though, the homes are very affordable, $275,000 to $350,000, and that's probably reflected in the fact that the household median income is about $75,000. So here we have a city where there's more business than there is residential, which means there's more activity, so there's more opportunity for violent crime to occur. But the reality, violent crime has remained consistently low. So that being said, if job access is a priority, then this is a location that could be a practical solution to your objective. If I were planning on moving to Missouri, these are the cities that I would focus on first. And not just because they're safe, but also because of where they're located. They're going to give you access to all the amenities and things that Kansas City or St. Louis has to offer without the downsides of dense urban living. So, if you are thinking about relocating and you want help narrowing down your decision based on commute, lifestyle, budget, please feel free to reach out. So if you'd like to chat, you can call me, text me, email me, or better yet, set up a Zoom call. All my information is listed below, and please do me a favor, like and share the video. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. That way you'll always know about the next video that's coming out. Now, one other thing. If you're moving into one of these communities, if you're like a lot of people, you're going to need financing to purchase your next home. If that's the case, I can help. In addition to being a realtor, I'm also a lender. And so I'm able to answer the questions you have as well as help you navigate the process. Here's the bottom line. Because I'm one point of contact, the communication is simplified, the process becomes easier and more enjoyable. That's the feedback I get from my clients. So with that being said, until then, I look forward to showing you around the Kansas City area.